Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say.
Hello, and welcome to another question and answer video with me, Truthslayer. As always, if you have anything you would like to ask me, any questions, anything you'd like me to comment on in the world of professional wrestling, send it my way. If I like the question, I will post it up here and I will answer it. So let's get started. Hey Truthslayer, Angle wins the X Division title at Hard Justice, as well as the rest of the gold. What do you think of Angle vacating the belt and having another X Division title tournament? If so, do you think it would be feasible to bring in a few juniors from Japan to take part in it? I think it would be a cool thing to do after Hard Justice if Angle wins, to shake up the X Division title scene in TNA. Actually, you know what I would much rather them do is I'd much rather them unify the X Division title, the TNA world title, and for them to keep the IGP third title as part of them, and have a unified triple crown type of winner. I really like that type of thing myself. Always have been, just being a mark of All Japan back in the day. I always liked that sort of thing. So I would much, even if they can't use the IWGP title, I'd much rather them unify the two titles and then bring in a television title or some sort of other title, secondary title other than the X Division title, because I've never been a big fan of the X Division title, as a lot of people know that have watched me for a while. Just never. I think it limits guys far too much. Do you think that before WrestleMania 24, Kennedy, Punk, and Matt Hardy can become the faces, poster boards of a brand like Lashley, Cena, and Batista were before them, or will they have to coexist with Batista, Cena, Lashley as main eventers? Batista, sooner or later, because of his age, is going to be phased out. Cena's not going anywhere. He's still young. He's not going anywhere. And Lashley, they'll probably give Lashley a couple more chances to get over before they finally nix on him. Hopefully, when they bring him back, they will give him a mouthpiece, and I think he will be far more over if they do that. But they're going to have to coexist with all those guys. I do think that by WrestleMania 24, at least, I would imagine Kennedy and Punk will definitely be legitimate main eventers, and I hope Matt Hardy is as well. So there we go. Hey Truthslayer, you say that you would change the X Division title to a TV title and/or change the cruiserweight title to a TV title. Why make it specifically a TV title and not another title name? Does a TV title have a great level of prestige to its name? The TV title, the original TV title, was the NWA and the WCW television title, and what those were basically like the third tier belts. Of course, you also have the ECW television title, which was a very prestigious belt when Rob Van Dam had it, and was the secondary belt in ECW. Basically, for why I would say the cruiserweight title belt is because SmackDown being on broadcast television, I think you can call it the TV title. It's only defended on television. I think it makes sense. Same thing with the X Division title, because if you call it a U.S. title or Intercontinental title or North American title, it's just going to sound like you're just copying names instead of just saying, hey, we're going to do a TNA TV title and say that here's a belt that's only defended on television or pay-per-views, and then we have the world title, which is defended everywhere. And that's why I like that idea. But any type of secondary title that TNA can come up with, I would like that idea. Other than the X Division title, not a big fan of having a hardcore title. I know some people have said that too. But just having a secondary title that isn't weight, prohibited, and just as a secondary title, I think that would be far better. Hey Truthslayer, I keep hearing wrestlers are green. I was wondering where this thing came about and why. Basically, a green wrestler is someone who is young, inexperienced. It's an old term. A guy who's green is basically a guy who is young and inexperienced. So that is where that comes from. We as Americans, for the most part, are used to the fast-paced, hard-hitting style that ROH is loved so much. Do you think if WWE has to cut down on their house shows that their guys would get hurt and they could bring it in the ring? Basically, yeah, I definitely feel that if WWE cut down on the house shows, they would be able to put on better matches and a much more what I think the industry is going to as far as what kind of matches people want to see. That's why I'm a big fan of ROH. That's why I do, for the most part, I do like TNA style. I just feel that they're not putting on as good matches as they should be putting on. And I definitely feel that if WWE did that, I think the quality of matches would definitely go up. I still think you would still have somewhat of a WWE style simply because they want to protect their guys. But I think it would be a much better, I think you would have much better matches. With the shit state of feds like All Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, do you think it would be a good idea for WWE to buy one of those up and turn into a developmental territory, working with guys like Kojima, Muto, and stuff would improve development goals no end, and I'm sure working farm systems like OVW and FCW would be beneficial for guys like Ezzy and Rage, and also have WWE guys on Japanese cards occasionally would be a great drawing boost to them. What do you think? The thing is that WWE has never done well with Japanese talent for whatever reason, and I mean, I can only think of a few guys that ever really got over, and that's unfortunate because you're basically limiting a big portion of that. Also, WWE does not do very well in Japan as well as you would probably think, even with the stated state of All Japan and New Japan. When WWE goes over there, they don't do that well. Really, they only have a few guys that really draw well. Undertaker being, I believe, the biggest draw they have in Japan. You know, I always felt that when they brought back ECW, that's one of the things they should have used ECW for, and why I think ECW should have been geared much more towards the hardcore fans, is because that would have given them a show they could have sent to Japan and put on a Japanese-esque show, and probably would have done a lot better in Japan other than just putting on a US type show, even though by all accounts when they go to Japan they do try to put on a Japanese-esque show, but you can't have guys just turn that off and on. You can't do that. So I would agree with that to some degree, but WWE has never done well in Japan. They've never done well with Japanese feds. They've never done well with Japanese wrestlers, so I don't think that would necessarily work. Hey, Truthslayer, I know that this has kind of been addressed in a more specific manner in a previous video, but I recently read Eric Bischoff's book, Country to Rich Cash, and I thought it was pretty good read, Eric's Personal Bias Aside, and I wanted to know what you thought of it as well. I thought it was good. I have read that book. I thought it was good. I do think that, you know, he basically put his own spin on it, and for that reason I didn't like it, because I think he hashed over a lot of things and wasn't very truthful about a lot of things either. But hey, it's his book. He can talk about what he wants. Truthslayer, what do you think of TNA's Paparazzi Productions? How do you feel about the upcoming Paparazzi DVD? Thanks. Didn't know they're coming out with Paparazzi DVD. If they do, that's great. That's one of my favorite things on TNA, to be completely honest. I always think they're entertaining. I wish they would do more to it. I think they've often dropped the ball with the Paparazzi Productions over at least the last year. I think this could have been a really big thing, and they just dropped the ball on it, and it's too bad, because I think it was something they really could have done really well. Hey, Truthslayer, what do you rank as the top promotions in Japan? I really like Noah. I would rank Noah as well, and if you do any research, you actually find out, I didn't know this, Noah last year actually had averaged the best house show or the best show numbers of anybody in Japan. Television ratings aren't quite there, and the television show isn't quite there simply because New Japan's been around for so long. It's kind of, you know, New Japan's kind of like the WWE. Noah is kind of just starting to come up, and from the remnants of All Japan. So there you go. I'm new to your channel, but I'm happy that I found it. It is great to get an unbiased take on the different wrestling federations, unlike the comments from Bill and Doug's putting over TNA as the holy grail of wrestling. My question is this: considering the current state of WWE and how horrible all three of its shows have been, what would you do to improve the product if you had a total creative control over everything in the WWE? How would you try to turn things around? I would love to get your opinion on this. Basically, what I would do is I would change up the roster. First of all, I would make each show very independent of each other and make them, you know, going after certain markets. I'd make Raw. I've talked about this before. I'd make Raw much more, you know, kind of the edgy adult show. I'd make SmackDown a little more maybe family friendly as a wrestling show can be, and I'd make ECW more of a die-hard wrestling fan. And that way you are covering your bases, and you can kind of blur the lines to some degree. But I definitely make the three shows very independent of each other, and move the talent around. I think that would do a lot. I think that would help the shows a lot. And I also think ECW is actually pretty good, I would say, and SmackDown. I think both shows are actually pretty good. So I would say that.